Hello Reformers and welcome back to Mountain Blade Warband. Now when we left off we had just, well, experienced one of the longest and most drawn out sieges ever. But thankfully that is now over, and I think in future I'm probably not going to be showing as many of those because quite frankly it is annoying to me, it's annoying to you, it's annoying to everyone. So basically what I'm going to do is, in future I'm just going to go through most of the rounds by myself off screen, and then when we get a little bit closer to actually taking the thing, then we're going to, then I'm going to show that on screen. It's just going to take a little bit longer, so obviously the episodes might take a little bit more time to actually be, published and actually come out. So obviously that's a, that's a bit of an issue, but if you don't mind going a day or so without Barney, without Barney to, keep you company or whatever, then, that's fine. And I will do that. I will definitely do that. So now this is, unfortunately, a siege tower. And that's actually not too bad. I don't really mind about that so much. Now, the one reason why I have decided to take, or attempt to take, this castle is because they have the most overwhelming amount of vassals here, and I personally felt like tackling the keep with the most vassals first, especially considering it's the siege tower, would probably be the best idea. Because if we allow the siege tower castle to sort of fester and to get strength and basically just get absolutely insanely well defended, then things are going to be very painful for us in the end. And I personally don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that at all. I do not want to have a whole band of vassals. I think there's like 9 or 8 or something along those lines vassals here in the garrison. They are very, very weak. They don't have a lot of units under their command, but that's going to change very, very quickly. So in effect, us doing this is kind of, shall we say, nipping it in the bud. So we're going to be able to, progress onward to Tolbuck Castle, which is the final castle after this that the Khergits own, and then we'll be able to swap in Khergit units to our armies, because obviously as what we're doing, we are basically assimilating the cultures that we conquer into our rotation. So we are going to be using Swedian Knights, we're going to be using Saranid Mamluks, and we're probably going to be using Khergit veteran horse archers or something along those lines. But obviously we already dominate the field battles, so it's not really necessary for us to, shall we say, compound that fact any further by taking these Khergit horse archers along for the ride. So I'm a bit worried about that, to be honest, because we are not particularly good in sieges. We're pretty, we're okay. We're not fantastic, but that's the thing. I'm a little bit worried about actually, continuing to do sieges and having a pretty difficult time at it. So I don't know. What I would have liked to have done was to take out the Nords as soon as possible so that we can actually gain some, reasonably good infantry. But saying that, then you have to go against them first. You have to actually attack them to be able to acquire their units. I mean, that's under our rule set at the very least. Because obviously we have a rule set, and we're kind of abiding by that as much as we can. I'm gonna die here, I think. Am I? No. Yep. Oh, yep. Let me. Oh, yeah. There we go. That is what we like to see. Fantastic. Thank you very much for letting me through. That was just very nice of them. Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't go for an archer army in this one because it's a siege tower, and I kind of thought that the bottleneck in this particular siege would be so much larger and wider than the previous ones that we've gotten used to. So yeah, that is blatantly the case, because as you can see, we're just able to get by here extremely easily, and hopefully I'll be able to kill a bunch in the back. Yes, in the back. Very, very honorable of us, isn't it? Yes, very honorable for us to attack them in the back. Yes. Stabby stabby. Well, technically it's not stabby stabby. We're not stabbing people, are we? No, we're not stabbing people. I do need to be a little bit careful about these guys coming at us now. So I'm going to try and get up here if I can. I don't think I'm going to... Am I going to make it? No, I'm not going to make it. So I'm going to just jump over here. Instead, going to take a little bit of damage. Need to be much more careful because there are some crossbowmen here. I need to be very, very careful about dying now. Yep, there we go. Yes, that's what we like to see. Yeah, there we go. Alright. And then we can just continue doing some damage. So what I'm going to do is... Oh my. Okay, let's be a little bit careful here. You know what's going to happen. I'm going to get singled out by a huge amount of their archers. Yeah, there's a lot of archers right here. We need to be very, very careful here. Okay, so there is actually an archer up there too, who is going to probably shoot me. So how am I going to get up there? Is there actually... Ah, there's some stairs. Oh, fantastic. It was blending in. It was blending in almost seamlessly to the battlement's wall there. So, yeah, it's a little bit worrying. But thankfully, we are already in the battlements. Personally feel like we have this in the bag, but you never know. Maybe something is going to surprise us. Maybe I'm going to get shot. Oh, really? Okay. That was very strange. I actually got shocked there. I was basically a bit surprised. Did I not kill that previous Rodok crossbowman? I thought I did 68 damage to him. They don't have more HP than that, do they? Did I completely misread that situation? I think so. I think so. Well, as you can see, they have 150 in the garrison still, but we've eliminated all of the vassals' units, and that was the main thing that I wanted to do. But now we have the additional problem of the garrison consisting solely of Kurgit Lancers and Veteran Horse Archers now, which is what I wanted to avoid because obviously we wanted to get in on the battlements and eliminate that possibility from even occurring, because now what's going to happen is that we'll be faced with huge amounts of Lancers. Maybe not actually, because of the order that they are in at the moment. I mean, as you can see, it's Kurgit Horsemen, Kurgit Horse Archers, Kurgit Veteran Horse Archers, and then the Lancers. So we should be maybe a little bit more fortunate this time around, but who knows. Now what I'm going to do is I will save you the time of having to stare at the screen while the siege tower builds. Alright, so we already have the siege tower built and pushed to the walls. Now we just have the arduous task of penetrating their defenses once again. I actually feel like this might be a little bit easier than before, but maybe I'm kind of not really seeing the big picture here. I mean, let's just have a look-see. Huh? Oh, wow. Impressive. Impressive. Alright, so, oh, you apparently want to attack me like this. Oh, well, you're very annoying, aren't you? Yes, anyway, let's just, yeah, take that. Yeah, that's what you get. Alright, so now let's just be a little bit careful here. Okay, so I'm not going to bring out my thrown weapons until I really need to, because, oh my, are you serious? That was just, okay. Did you see that guy with the huge two-handed sword? That was the reason why I took 28 damage right there. Wow, that's crazy. That is real crazy right there. Okay, well, it's fine. It's fine. We're still, we're still in pretty, high spirits here. We are not really having too many difficulties. And basically, all I have to do is prevent myself from dying. So, surely that's easy enough, right? Surely that's easy enough for us. I mean, come on. We've been playing this game for a long time, so technically, I should be able to prevent myself from dying. Well, I mean, this is the thing, okay? If I was playing off screen, I would basically just not do anything right now. I'd basically just stand there and allow my units to do their thing. Because, in general, usually, it is a good idea to rely on your units in this kind of situation. Because if you don't have the diplomacy mod, if you don't have the after-death battle continuation thing, then obviously it is going to be quite bad for you to, die, because that's going to obviously end the battle and things are not going to go too well as a result. But because I'm recording this, it's, suffice it to say, much more entertaining if I actually get into the thick of things. So, for those of you that actually just say to me, hey, you're pretty bad at this, well, there's a reason for that. I'm doing it for entertainment purposes. And obviously, that's the thing. I'm not particularly good. I've never said I'm particularly good at the game, because in general, it can be a little bit clunky at times, and things can happen that you don't necessarily expect. and all that sort of thing. You know, I can bring out all those excuses if I so desire. You know, personally, I don't really care to excuse myself for playing badly, because, you know, it can happen. You know, it can happen to everyone, actually. But the point is that, in general, if I was to play off-screen right now, I'd basically, you know, I might do this. I might go to the back here, and I might try and do a little bit of damage to the opponent by sneaking behind them and doing a little bit of damage here and there. But I'm not going to really put myself in major jeopardy, because, you know, that is just not going to win you battles, is it? You know, it's not going to win you fights, it's not going to win you sieges or anything like that. But I'm doing it because it's fun. You know, it's fun to do that. It's fun to watch it. Well, I hope it's fun to watch it. And in general, that's the reason why I will do some things that may appear stupid. You know, they may appear stupid because, I mean, that's the thing. Do you want to see me just standing up there not doing anything? I don't think that's very entertaining, personally. I know some people actually do that on a series, and I just think that's kind of, I don't know. I'm not going to be disrespectful or anything, but I just think that is a little bit, if I can actually use that sound as an indication of my thoughts on that. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I kind of try to avoid. And this is what it gets me. Yeah. It gets me into these kinds of situations. And that's exactly the problem. I don't really mind, you see, I don't really mind dying in games, because, you know, I know that it's just a game, you know, and I hope you know that as well, because some people tend to take games way too seriously for their own good. But I think we might actually have an opportunity. 46 remaining. Alright, we're gonna have to go back in. We seem to have a little bit of a situation here. Now, what I did was, because I was extremely injured, I decided against building another siege tower, and instead I ran back to Nara and just got some horsemen out. I don't have any more Swadians. I think I had a couple of Swadian man-at-arms, and I had a couple of Saranid horsemen. I did have 10 Mamluks as well, but that's it. I don't have anything else. So after this, I'm going to need to, you know, resupply, re-recruit, all that sort of thing. And upon getting back, I noticed that there was a very, very big amount of vassals in SUNGETCHE Castle, one of them being this guy. And we are going to deal with him. As you can see, he has 192. There's actually 2 other vassals also joining him for this particular foray, and I'm not particularly happy about that. So we're gonna be a little bit, we're gonna be mean to him. Yeah, we're gonna be mean to him, and we're gonna see if we can hopefully not lose this, or shall we say, not lose too many casualties. Because losing too many casualties here would definitely remove the opportunity for us to take SUNGETCHE Castle. And I really, really wanted to do that in this episode, so that there's only 1 castle remaining for the Khergits. They also, oh yeah, they also just offered me a peace agreement, and they also just offered me a ransom for Sanjar Khan, which I summarily declined. Because literally, I don't want to give them back their strongest vassal. Well, technically not vassal, strongest unit, do I? So yeah, that's certainly something that I'm not going to be doing anytime soon. I'm basically just going to allow him to languish away in our prisoner tower, and hopefully he will never escape. Because, well, he's kind of annoying. He's kind of annoying to deal with. He has a huge amount of lancers usually, and those guys are certainly not something that you want to continually be fighting all the time. So we're just going to try our best to eliminate that possibility. And even if he does escape, at the very least it will keep him off the battlefield for a pretty reasonable length of time. And I don't really mind that. So yeah, otherwise I think we're pretty good to actually win this. As you can see, they don't have good units. They do not have good units. They are doing actually some pretty decent damage to me. Oh yeah, by the way, also, Jeremus leveled up in that previous siege, as far as I'm aware at least, and I leveled up as well. I think you may have seen that I did level up to level 27, I believe. So what I'm going to need to do is also go into our character screen after this and see what kind of wonderful skills and attributes I can, you know, spread around and hopefully improve Barney's capabilities in many ways. Obviously, we know him. He will not improve in more than one way at a time. And usually it's dying. he always improves in dying and getting shot with javelins in the face, and so on and so forth. And speaking of javelins, hello, I'm gonna shoot you in the back with my javelins. Oh, wow, I actually did wow, I hit someone? That is crazy. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, there we go. Take him out. There's a bunch of Swadian man-at-arms here as well, which is always annoying to fight because they're pretty well armored. They're pretty mobile, and it's kind of a bit difficult to always catch up to them. Where are you going? Where are you going? Are you being annoying? Yes, you are. You're being very annoying. There we go. Take that, Kurgit Skirmisher. A Kurgit Skirmisher was able to fight me off longer than the man-at-arms? I mean, seriously now, come on. That is just hilarious. Well, anyway, we do seem to be... Wow, we are losing a lot. We are losing a lot of our units right there. Okay, well, that's not too good. For some reason, I sound surprised. Why do I sound surprised about that? That is very, very weird. I mean, usually, okay. Yeah, I can expect to lose what? Oh, yeah, I can actually expect to lose about this. Never mind. I actually thought to myself, oh, we've lost 25 units to death, and that would definitely put a stop to my plans about taking SUNGETCHE Castle. But only losing about 10, maybe 15 max at the end of this fight, don't think that's going to put a stop to our efforts. But you never know, there's always going to be those annoying people that decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to shoot your Swadian knight in the face and kill it, like that Swadian crossbowman just did. Yes. And you know what's hilarious? I always think to myself that the Swadian crossbowmen are not that good, but they are actually pretty decent, so yeah, I should really stop underestimating them. But that's usually what happens, people tend to underestimate others, and it's the same, it's the same in real life as well as in games, Games like this, for example, where there are, a good amount of unit selection. So if you just take, like, for example, let's take one of the, lesser infantry units, and let's just discuss that a little bit. So, like, for example, the Vaegier infantry, they are pretty bad when it comes to stat-wise, as far as I'm aware. It's been a long time since I've seen the stats, but the point is that they're pretty bad in general. A lot of people tend to believe that the Vaegier infantry are not very good, and that their archers are much, much better, obviously. That is to be expected, because each faction concentrates on a particular specialization. And it's the same thing, with, people in real life as well. People tend to underestimate others, and that's usually a fatal mistake, just like it is for me to underestimate these Swadian crossbowmen, because now I've lost 10 of my most powerful cavalry units, and that is certainly something that we want to avoid. So, yeah, maybe some of you will, take heed from my advice, and try to employ these kinds of, I'm not going to say lessons, because they're not they're not particularly lessons, but I'm just going to say, maybe just take a little bit of my advice in games and in real life, because it does actually have a bit of a parallel some of the time. You tend to, should never underestimate people, because they're always going to maybe surprise you. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, never underestimate Swadian crossbowmen. That's also the moral of this story. Yes, exactly. Well, anyway, it seems like we are done with Grainwad once again. Yeah, he seems to put himself in some very annoying situations for us, doesn't he? He always seems to just crop up and basically be like, hello there, I'd like to, do a little bit of damage and, to try and prevent you from doing this thing that you want to do so much. And I'm just like, yeah, not particularly happy about that. But anyway, there you go. We were able to defeat him. We gained a pretty decent amount of renown on that first round, which I'm pretty happy about. And he managed, wow, everyone managed to escape. Are you serious? They all managed to escape. Not going to take any prisoners, as I have explained previously. There's really no need. We have so much money. So yeah, otherwise, I don't think I'm going to be taking anything else. We need some food. Yeah, we do. We need some food. Yeah, when I was at Nara, I basically just ignored getting food. That's a bad thing for me to do, isn't it? Okay, well anyway, there you go. Some more Swadian Knights. That's pretty nice. Let's level up Jeremus. Well, I guess we're just going to go for some more intelligence for him, aren't we? I think engineering is perfectly fine. And I guess we'll just get some more shield for him, because you never know, maybe if he ever runs out of ammunition, which is highly unlikely, because he seems to, he's going to be firing pretty slowly and everything, so it's not really a big need for me to give him any kind of melee combat skills. Alright, Lezelit is still doing his thing. He is not leveling up yet, I suppose, but yeah, let's anyway go and speak to Barney. Oh, alright, so what is he doing here? Well, I was leveling up his riding skill, if I recall, because I wanted to get a better horse. But thinking about that, I don't know whether it's even worth it. I mean, we have some good shield skill as well. Maybe we'll go for some Iron Flesh or something along those lines here. Maybe. I don't know, that seems to be the best thing. Maybe Athletics. I think we'll go for Athletics because we're going to get Agility 15 and then we'll be able to get Riding, Shield, and Athletics all to 5 in the next 3 levels, and that will take us to level 30, so I suppose that's pretty good. We probably want to increase our Strength as we go forward as well, so once I get to Agility 15, then I'm going to be going for something like 21 Strength if I can. That's obviously going to take a bit of time, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to take a bit of time. Oh yeah, but also by the reason I'm not using a bow or a crossbow or anything like that is because I already have 5 in power throw, and I would need a pretty big boost in power draw for me to be able to use a bow or anything like that, because I've seen a couple of people actually calling for me to use a bow. And yeah, that might actually be a really good idea, but I think it might be a bit too late for me to do anything about that. So we're just going to have to stick with our throwing weapons. Yes, I'm super effective with them, right? Not really. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.